What's up, everybody? This is your boy Titus Glenn, and this is another rendition of Lyric Talk. Now, I have my guest, Miss Winking Out Productions herself, Miss.
Toccara, Hyde.
I don't know. Right now,
I'm like, you forgot my name.
no, it's too late in the game for me to be forgetting your
I,
name.
see that part.
So, y'all, today we're gonna do something special. We normally talk about lyrics, but today I wanted to talk today about co-writing. And for those that don't know, it's been 2 years. I started a community of songwriters to where we gather together every Monday and we write for about an hour and a half, sometimes longer, depending what we have going on. And then we share out at the end of the session of like what we learned and not learned, but more so what we came up with. And so I wanted to have this conversation with Toccara because Toccara has been there from the beginning, and maybe talk about things that she's learned, things that she has maybe experienced in her own writing being transformed. Because I know this was a new, I think I know it was a new experience for her, just even co-writing and letting somebody in to her space of actually collaborating. And what I have discovered is, especially I compare gospel to CCM music, is that on the CCM side I see a lot of collab, but on the gospel side I don't see too much. And so the heart behind Pinheart was not that we're just a gospel community, because we're more than that. We're a hub of writers. But what I did discover is that because I was born a gospel baby, wanting to bring this awareness to other people that it's okay to co-write, it's okay to let people in on your space and share in that process. And out of that process, you create something that not only you can push, but the people that have bought into, the people that have tapped into and wrote with you can also push something collectively as a whole. So let's get into it. And this is really just free flowing. We're gonna be transparent as we can be. And I'm gonna start with the question. We just kind of go from there. Okay, so Toccara. So being
That's
new to co-writing or was new to co-writing,
okay.
what would you say prevented you from even thinking about letting in to write with you?
Oh man, I would definitely have to say I would say my main three was fear. Fear of like not really trying to let anybody that, penetrate that deep into my thought process to where it became an opinion on me. And then the second one would definitely have to be vulnerability. I talk about that a lot. Being able to be open and vulnerable was connected to that fear. And then the third one, I would definitely have to say ownership. Owning breaking that owning thing, like I own my music, I own my writing, I own my thoughts. That thing just really, trying to separate the two was really tough for me at first. But once I begin to dive into and look at it in a whole different mind frame, I begin to like really gravitate to co-writing. Because it's not just and knowing that it's not just about ownership, but it's about accountability as well.
Mm. Well, let's speak to that because I feel like the majority of people that won't let people in, I'm gonna
Hmm.
speak to two of them for sure. But
Hmm.
the main one I think is the ownership and maybe losing ownership. Um,
Yeah.
what was it about losing ownership or what I'm saying, the ownership of you writing a song that is my song? What was the most? What was the the what am I trying to say? What was the most fear behind that, or what was that?
Probably not letting the song be my own and having my own, like I did that, being proud that I did that and having that tagged in my catalog if I can say, and say, hey, yeah, I've written this, and this, and having just not having somebody else help me write the song. I think that was the most thing. Like, I don't need nobody help write my songs. I can write my own thoughts and whatever. But when co-writing, it's a little bit different than just your thoughts, because somebody else in the room with you can make you think on a whole different pattern, make you think about it a whole different direction. Like, you could go into different directions with just one word.
Mhm.
And the disattachment to say, man, I wish I would have just thought of that, and it'd been mine, that I think that's where the selfishness has to cut.
That was
Like it,
what I was looking for, like that
yeah, that
selfishness
selfishness
to say
thing has.
that it's mine, or
Mhm.
I think for me, before I got into co-writing, it was like, okay, if I co-write this song with somebody, will they take it as their own? Or, when you get down to royalties and making money, will somebody
Right,
screw me over, you know what I'm saying, for the idea that I gave them? And not even that,
right.
because I don't really think about ideas, because we can get ideas. We steal as songwriters often. When I say
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, somebody could say something like, "Ooh, that just triggered a
Oh,
thought," and now I'm writing
yeah, exactly.
about it. But what I'm saying is, like literally take my verbiage and what I'm saying, and then they use it. It makes their song better, and they don't give me the credit for it.
I oh, okay. So I got a little bit tricky because I'm what you call like a mystery lady. Like I literally think before I speak,
Okay.
and it's very very um. You don't find those type of people too often. You find more of the people that they speak more than they think.
Mm,
So I'm gonna actually think about if that's a good line.
mm,
If I know you don't know the business,
mm,
if I know you don't know the business, I'm not gonna give you my best line,
mm,
because that means that I don't trust you, right? So
mm.
in this process, I had to learn trust as well.
Come on.
Know who
Yeah.
know who I can trust to
Yeah.
say, I'm gonna give you this best line because I feel like this will make the song
Mm,
elevate, right?
right.
But if I know I don't trust you enough, I'm not gonna give you my best line. That is something that this has taught me. Like, you don't throw out your best fish to just anybody.
Anybody, right? Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And co-writing has really, really been instrumental to me on business level. Not and and not just writing. It's about the frame of mind in music business. Period. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like I literally had to figure out who I could trust,
Mm,
who I couldn't trust,
mm,
and still be very professional, very, cordial, very nice. But I knew professionally, I knew the business
mm.
well enough to know I can't trust you with my best fish.
Well, that's the thing that, like, okay, so you open up like a can to talk about, because when you get into a room with a co-writer, if you can't trust the individual, I would say you won't come up with a song
Song.
beneficial
Mm-hmm.
to everybody, or that people can buy into, because everybody's not really bringing their best. They're kind of
Correct.
scraps. So
Correct.
I want to speak to, in this moment, I want to speak to, how do you build that trust in the room when you go and write? Okay. I would say,
Wow. Wow. That's a great question.
because that's what it is. Like, if I don't trust you, I feel like you're shading your business. You know what I'm saying? I think there are things that have happened before then that have made me question your integrity in this writing room. And when your integrity is questionable, then now I'm withholding what could actually be producing a great song, right? And I would say, you had something to add?
I was just gonna say that is, you just hit that with the hammer, because Again, it's about vulnerability, trust, and fear, right? Those are the three things that I named. And all three of those have to really boil down to whether or not I really trust you enough to say you're not gonna take this material
Mhm.
and run with it and leave me hanging, right? Because in co-writing, if you really don't know the business and
Mhm.
you're just writing, you're not doing yourself any justice. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody can take advantage of you, especially in the music business. They do it all the time. But I really feel like if you are going to co-write, if you're going to go down that avenue, you
Mhm.
really have to within yourself.
Mhm.
This is not like accountability to anybody else, accountability to yourself
Right.
to say, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to open up and I'm going to give you your own little rope,
Mhm.
you know, and I'm going to trust that this rope that I'm giving you, you're going to take care of it. You're going to nurture it. You're going to be back and
Mhm.
finish it. You're going to be back and finish the song because we have an issue with that too. Like people come, people go, they leave, they don't finish the song. And then when you want to finish the song and you take the song, you know,
And I think
that's the question.
all this stems from having a conversation, right? Having a conversation
Yeah.
with people that you are co-writing with, and having, not only is there a conversation, but you have agreements. You make covenant, I would,
Yeah.
through writing with the people
Right.
you're writing with. So things that I teach in Pinheart on Monday nights is that you have a split sheet. And
Yep.
split sheet, if you don't know what that is, a split sheet indicates who wrote the song, how many people on the song. You list everybody. And what you do, you create a space to say, this is all who contributed to the song. And in the rooms that we work in, we usually just divide everything equally
Equally. Mm-hmm.
because nobody will be shysted that way.
Yes.
Even if you have one word in that room, that one word can literally change the direction of a song. And when you try to put, well, you didn't say too much and you didn't say too much, and you know what I'm saying, you literally begin to muddy the waters because
Yeah.
sometimes it's one person in the room directing how the song should go, and everybody's filling off that vibe
Mm-hmm.
same time because you guys are feeding into that vibe and you're giving your thoughts and how it should go. You
Mm-hmm.
your energy, I say your energy is actually helping translate what the song needs to say.
Exactly.
So I
I
would
agree.
to have trust, you first need to have a conversation.
And then having that conversation, you have to have confidence.
Mm,
Walking in with confidence that you are sure within yourself as a writer.
uh-huh.
And even if you don't know everything, that's still fine. Admit that you don't know everything, or admit that you're. Here's the thing that I like to do, and this is how I came into Pen and Heart: an empty cup.
Mm,
I didn't know anything about co-writing. I've heard of co-writing before.
mm,
I was very fearful of co-writing, but I was very honest with myself that I was afraid to do this.
mm,
You know what I mean? And I think being honest and accountable for your own feelings, um, it matters when it comes to separating independent
mm,
co-writing. I'm sorry, independent writing versus co-writing, because in co-writing you got like multiple accountability partners,
mm,
but when you're just independently writing, you just have you just have your skill, you
right.
know. And I think it's all about coming in with that confidence that I'm a great writer.
Mm,
And that's what I came in with. Like, I know I'm a great writer. I just know I need to enhance some skills. I
right.
know I need to own up to some skills that I was like, ugh, I'll shy away from because I don't want to be vulnerable, you know? So, I mean, it was really an elevation moment for me in co writing. And if I have to speak to co-writing, it's probably one of the things that makes me a great artist, because now I feel like I've always said I'm very across the board. Like, I love all types of music. But now because I have done co-writing for about 2 years now, starting with you, I can say I am that person, that genre seeking person, that if you put me in a place where they're not even writing Christian music, I probably would still blend,
Mm,
because of just being around different types of people,
mm,
with different types of background and different types, not just Black Christian gospel music. So I really think that it's walking into a confident, walking in co-writing confident in who you are, um, matters as well.
yeah, and I think that's another facet as well. Um, just like you said, walking in confidence that you are just as equal as the person that you are getting ready to write with, and nobody is greater than the next because your skill set might be melody, but somebody other skill set might be lyrics. And so when you walk in a room knowing that we're all in the same playing field and we all want a song that we can vibe to, that to me should release you from the pressure. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking more so about the pressure that's in the room. You know what I'm saying? You always gonna maybe have that pressure to get a good song, but that pressure should not be against your co-writers. You know, it shouldn't be against one another. It's
Right.
a forward moving, like we're pressuring ourselves as a unit to produce a song that is like, wow, we are all proud of this song.
Exactly.
So,
I've had moments writing in there where I was like, I'm not proud of this song. I don't want my name attached to this song.
mhm,
I think we all had those moments like, but I will say, I'm gonna be candid. I
okay,
was very proud of the Christmas song that we all did.
okay.
It's a time of season. I love that one,
Uh,
and
Give
give
Love,
love.
Give Love was the one that everybody did. Yeah.
I have to give you your props that you know what you're doing. because, because like you made us like go back like several times and listen, sing the song over again. Is it something that you feel like is missing out the song? Before we put this into rotation, do you like the melody line? Should we change some things?
Mhm,
And I like, you really pushed me as not just a writer, but just on the production end to think production when I write. And
mhm,
I can't stand you for that. Because now when I go into these writing sessions, I'm having, and I hate this by myself, so I'm learning not to back away from thinking production when I'm writing, but because that's the artistry in me, that's what comes first.
mhm,
And you said something a while ago that says, you may be a great melody line person, that creates the melody. And I think that's me. Like, because I can always give a motif, give a bad motif, but when it comes down to like words, you on your own, because I got to feel the vibe before I start writing anything. But I could definitely give you a good, motif.
yeah.
But something that you helped me with writing those Christmas songs is to go back and make sure that is what you're wanting. So I love that about you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate. I'm learning to take the compliments, and with what we're doing with Pinheart is literally me having a heart to want to teach people what it is that I've been gifted to do, all at the same time opening up people's awareness that the melodies and the lyrics that you're getting in your head that you think are just one-liners could actually be dope songs. And most of the people that are in Pinheart have no writing background. If they wrote a song, I mean, the song wasn't its best, to be frank. And so I feel like these experiences, the experience of writing on Monday through Pen and Heart is literally working a muscle that I believe people are starting to be like, wait, I think this is a song. And now that I have this song, okay, now that I have this thought, what is the motif? And then now that I know the motif, what lyric can I put on top of this that makes sense?
You actually also taught us not to do easy songs. You taught us to do, and I'm gonna tell you something. You tricked us so bad during the Christmas season. You was like, I want y'all to do just the most simplest Christmas, or not really Christmas, but holiday tune, right? And we was like, what? We was thinking about the snow. We was thinking about bells.
about the
I
bird.
was like, this is just so freaking hard to think about the simplest thing. But you challenge the little thing in the back of our head that we never think about. It's like the simplest, most easiest tone, and then you flip those on. He was like, now I want you to go to the harder songs. I'm like, how would it be? I mean, like, you literally challenge us each week on doing something a little bit difficult versus a little easy, pushing us to the uncomfortable. So when you go to co-writing, don't expect to just write.
Right.
Expect to be challenged in those areas, right? In those areas that you've never been challenged before, and then you're not gonna pacify, like, he did not pacify us. He was very blunt. How can you make that different? That don't
Yeah,
sound right,
you know, I think of co-writing as a marriage. The two become
Yeah,
one, or the three become
yeah,
one, or the five become one. You know,
right.
legit are coming in the room and hopefully iron is sharpening iron,
Sharpening irons, right,
so that the iron is stronger if you put it together. And
right,
my idea when we're coming into these rooms is that not only am I pushing you guys, but you guys are pushing each other with your vernacular, with your motif lines, with all of that, because that's to me is what makes a dope song. A song
and
that
I think we do push each other.
I'm starting
We
to push it
do.
for sure. Like, no, that don't sound not.
That don't
And you
sound
don't say
right.
it in a bad way either. It's
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
wait, we've said that before, or and I think one of the things that I applaud myself on trying to teach you guys is okay, especially in verses. Let's not
Hmm.
use that word again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay to do words to me, my opinion. It's okay to do words over and over in choruses because
Hmm.
that's the meat of the song. You probably got a word that you want the person to really stick with. But for me,
Hmm.
when I'm writing, if I say light the way on one line, I'm probably gonna want to use that same line
Right.
after the next one.
Right.
And I think, and what I'm discovering with you guys is like at first, especially as a new writer, you're only going by what you've heard and what you've known. And most of the time
Exactly.
that's verbiage that either the music you listen to is saying or something you heard if you go to church, some ad lib that they've been saying for years. So you automatically gravitate to it.
Hmm.
Actually, what we're building in Pinheart is like, wait, that sounds cliche. Did we don't we hear that often?
Yes.
Say it
Yes.
differently to relate to what we're feeling right
And I think when we vocabulary
now.
huge, like thesaurus, finding other words that maybe you haven't heard before, because I'm I'm so sorry. I'm a energy person.
Uh-huh.
So even words that I see like leap at me, like, oh, that's pulling a certain energy.
Uh-huh.
That's giving a certain vibe for me. Like the word vibe is a vibe.
It's a vibe, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I feel like opening up your vocabulary to different words, and I love poetry, I love literature, so those type of things, like going to theater, going to different plays, exposing exposing yourself to
Absolutely.
different elements of art
Absolutely.
can build and open up a whole new vocabulary for you.
Absolutely. And I think that's where it is. It's like legit exposing yourself, but like you said, when you get into a room with a co-writer, especially one you haven't wrote with before, you're exposing yourself to a different way of writing because that individual may not write like you at all. Um, I wrote with Brian recently, maybe like a month ago, and it was really good because we have two different writing styles. At the same time, we think some of the same things. And so, even though our writing style is different, he would say something, it would trigger another thought in my mind. Okay, well, how about we do this? And then that would trigger a thought in his mind, and we're like literally going back and forth until we're like, okay, this line makes sense. All right, can we move to the next one? And legit have
Wow.
this conversation back and forth to where we're like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna give you this. Okay, you give it back to me, and we're playing ping pong until it's like, okay,
Mhm.
we got a winner. And
Mhm.
you have to master when you get into the room with another writer. I'm gonna toss you this, you toss it back. But if
Mhm.
somebody holds onto the ball, it's like, are we playing or not?
And also too, like, I love when you get into the rooms, you have us to talk about our day, you have us to talk about what we're feeling, because that could lead to, a song, or it could lead to conversations. Because I know there's been times where we've had like 15-minute conversations, and then a song or an idea will pop up. So it never just, okay, let's get in here and just write a song. It's always about, like you said earlier, having that conversation,
Conversation.
starting a conversation with your co-writer partner or partners. The other thing that I want to talk about is the difference between the two, the difference between musical styles.
Okay.
Not everybody wants to sing gospel all day. There's some people that don't really have, probably have never connected to gospel,
True.
and you may get into a room where a person's like, I have some spiritual songs, but I don't write spiritual songs.
Right. That
At that time, what would you do, Titus?
what would I do?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody doesn't want to write a gospel song, I'm okay, me personally,
Yeah,
because
me
I
too.
feel like you can write all music is music is music is music is music,
Yeah.
and especially like
Mm-hmm.
situations and situations and situations. It's
Right.
really about how you sang it, and then based on genre, it's really about how you produce the song that
Mm-hmm.
genre of the song.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if you wanted to ride with me about something that is not spiritual, I'm okay because I feel like first of all, I feel like the song's gonna be more universal.
Mm.
Everybody can relate to religion, but they can relate to life.
Mm. That's good.
So if I'm writing in a way that says you can make it, or you were crying last night, or
Mhm.
it's gonna be all right in the morning, or the sun
Right.
tomorrow. If I write it that way,
Mhm.
or you're gonna be big, bigger than you could think. Like all these lyrics that translate to empowering people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That to me is going to go further than me having a religious connotation.
Message. Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And it
Mhm.
negate the power of what I'm writing and who I believe in. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about that, because I feel like, yeah, we're gonna get into it. I feel like oftentimes as a Christian writer, right, we get put in this box
Mm,
that where we can't write any other music and still be Christian.
listen.
And that, I'm gonna say it, that is offensive to me, because I feel like you're limiting my creativity. You know what I mean? And I hate to feel that way. And I even hate saying it. I hate even feeling it rolling off my tongue, right? But it's the truth. Like, I feel like some people in the industry and some non-industry people put writers in this category to where they're only meant to write Christian music and not experience love,
Right.
not experience disappointment, hate, all sorts of type of feelings that we are human and we are entitled to have,
Right.
and write about, whether it's, it can be clean and not be, you know what I mean? Not be a negative connotation, but what if it is negative? It's still a feeling.
It's a feeling, absolutely. And s- m- I'm gonna say sometimes, all the times, however you want to put it. When it comes to feelings, good, bad, or indifferent, it's okay to embrace either one of them. Sometimes it's okay to sit with the negative, right? So you can process through why is it so negative to you. Even having that situation to where you're like, I don't like this feeling, but I need to sit with it because I need to know why it's bothering me so much. You know what I'm saying? Even in that, that's like a song in itself. I don't like this feeling, but I gotta feel what about it to me. Dun, I da, 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 'cause I wanna be negative. Ba, da, 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 da. Ah, da, 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 da. It's like you legit have. You see how you just came up with it? We just came up with a way to
Yeah,
okay to sit in your feelings
right.
and really process. I might have to finish. We might have to
We
write
might have to
that
pin this one. I'm glad you recorded.
down. Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna have to co-write with that one.
Yeah. But I think it's okay to sit with that
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
I feel like we are consistently evolving.
Mhm.
Really way to evolve is to
Yeah.
really figure out why certain things bothering you because it might be something deeper than the surface level things that we experience.
And I call that cleaning.
Listen, that's
I
what's
like I I call that cleaning out my soul, like really just etching out those things that I hold inside because I'm trying to spare your feelings.
mm,
You know, because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
right.
And because sometimes your honesty can really cut, but
Mm,
not cut in a way that it's a hurtful thing. It may cut to say, dang, I need to check mark. You know, I'm checking, checking yourself. And I think even with co-writing, you do find yourself a lot checking your boxes.
it's
Like I
absolutely
thought I did this, but I really am this. I thought I was strong, but I really, in some instances, I'm a weak person. Or
absolutely.
I thought I knew every single part of a song, but I really didn't.
Or I thought I knew that this was the way the song's supposed to go.
Yes,
Somebody says something that triggered, like, wait, maybe your way is the better
it's the
way,
best way.
and
Hmm.
I'm okay with riding that way as long as
Right.
we're getting to the same end goal.
Same place. Exactly. I mean, like co-writing teaches you all types of different skills that you didn't really think that you could be taught. But
Absolutely.
now that you, especially with me, like personally now, I can think I can go into another room and just kind of empty out my cup that I've learned in Pinheart
Mhm.
and sit and observe and say,
Yeah.
this may be not the perfect situation that I can co-write in. And if that's okay, then okay. But if I say, okay, I think I can maybe add a couple of tools here, and keep adding those tools, but don't go into a co-writing session with a whole different co-writing team that you're not familiar with and take all your tools in there.
Right.
Please observe
That
what
way.
their learning style is and what their teaching style is,
Absolutely.
and then just add it to your arsenal, add it to your
Absolutely.
things to do, and then let it be. I think that was the most biggest thing for me,
Mhm.
coming into call writing. Is like I thought I knew how to write because I come from a family of writers, poets, and stuff. So I'm like, this is nothing. Like I'm good. I'm Gucci. Not. That was not it. Like I had the concept of writing, but it was on a first person level.
Mm,
I've learned how to write second person and I've learned how to write in third person.
absolutely.
And so added that level, adding those elevations to your arsenal is huge when you're writing industry,
Absolutely.
because you can write on all levels, all forms. You can go into a studio and write on the spot. You
Absolutely.
can, I mean, it's so many different things that you've taught us in co-writing that I can apply in the studio. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate you. I appreciate Pinheart. I love Pinheart.
But the
I love coming in on Monday nights.
man, I appreciate you, like for real. Like if you ever again ever want to be a part of Penny Heart, just hit me up pennyheart2020@gmail.com. You can go to www.titusglenn.com if you just need to contact me overall for your music production, songwriting needs. Like we're here to be of service to you, and just really just build a community of of songwriters because I don't have it on my shirt, but lyrics do matter. But go cop the shirt, y'all. But that's been our show for today. We're definitely gonna do a part two on co-writing because I think it's necessary to have these conversations to break your fear of what that is. Even do a session about royalties and breaking down royalties. What royalties belong to you, and really keeping track on that information. But y'all, give it up for my guest, Miss Toccara Hyde today. And I'm your boy Titus Glenn. And y'all, this has been Lyric Talk, and we out.